Hey guys, today's Sunday. Just wanted to give you a quick update on just my situation with my leukemia and my cancer. I don't think I've shared too much about what I'm really going through on the physical side, so I wanted to touch base on that. So obviously, I'm at home now and I'm trying to recover. Uh, some of the stuff that the all the doctors have been putting into me in chemotherapy to essentially kill my cells, um, and now going through a process where my body's just naturally going to try to recover and have fresh cells that aren't cancerous. But anyway, the plasma cell leukemia that I have is pretty a rare situation, a rare case. My doctor says there's like only 200 cases in America that have something similar to what I have uh, for this year. So there's not a lot of data to figure out what's worked, what hasn't worked. They obviously have some of those cases, but the plan is to be in remission, and if nothing else, just to be in what they call in control. And a remission is like you're fine, but they will still have to watch you, over the years and see if it tries to come back. But plasma cell leukemia is basically cancer down to your blood, down into your bones. They've had to do a bone marrow biopsy, and everything that goes through your body is eventually in your bone marrow. So they pulled a piece of my a little core out of my hip in my bone, to figure things out. They look at the numbers and things like that, and figure out what cells, if any, are healthy. But what they're saying is, like, once it's in your blood, all the cells are basically bad. So the process at this point is to do three different actions to overcome some of these. One is what they would call the old school method, which is chemotherapy, which is what I just went through at Anschutz. That was a week worth of poisoning my body, so my body can heal with regenerating things. And then the other one is targeted targeted. I forget the words I use, but something specific like they can work on. So it's whether it's shots, and whether it's going to be do blood transfusions, whether it's going to be replacing red blood cells and white blood cells, or platelets and any other things that my body needing. But I have to go through a lot of blood um, blood tests a couple times a week. I go to up in Fort Collins, the cancer center up in Fort Collins, and they do all that. So they're calling it the infusion area, but even though I'm not technically doing infusion, um, at least on the chemo side of it, because I did that in Anschutz. Although that's going to be another process I'll do, weeks out. Um, so given all those different things, the last step is doing a stem cell replacement. They're thinking that the early part of the growth of my cells, they're hoping some of those will be not infected because they're so young. Um, the DNA or the memory of all these things, it's maybe too early for those cells to be damaged. So they're hoping to pull some of those cells out of me and let them grow and re-put them in my bone marrow, and hopefully that will fix it. But the combination of all those three targeted processes of chemo and the stem cell is what the course of action is in this process. So, you know, I think that's what we're going through. So it's not some of the traditional stuff as chemo every time. It's that's just a certain time. So I don't have the same symptoms as as some of these other people that lose their hair and all these different things, because it's just and that may be part of the process too, depending on how long I go through. But it's you know, so some of the stuff is just working through each symptom of each process that I go through. So this week, you know, I'm going to be going to the cancer center and doing some of the blood work again, and probably some blood transfusions. It takes a lot of time out of that, so that's sort of the process. But you know, we have a whole team that's working with me. There's the doctors in Anschutz where they're heading things up. You know, people come from all around different states just to be treated at Anschutz. We're just blessed to have the people at Anschutz and the knowledge and what they bring to the table, basically. So the part of the same team I have up here. Combined with a lot of nurse practitioners and other people who helping out, just constantly being fed with you know, good people to help me through some of this on a physical level. You guys are, you know, my armor bearers, and you're helping me on the spiritual side and the intellectual side of things sometimes, you know. But